planning to apply for a PhD and MIT exam is confusing you, what is the pattern, how many questions are there, which section matters the most, and most importantly, how should you actually prepare? Then this video is for you. Hi, I am Jyoti and welcome back to Skinzity Chronicles. In this video, I'll break down everything you need to know about the MIT PhD exam based completely on my exam experience, including my score patterns, books I used, what worked and what didn't work, and what would I do differently if I had to attempt it again. This video is especially helpful if you're planning to apply for PhD in India, appearing for MIT or similar university entrance exams from science, medical imaging, life sciences, or allied health background. Confused between UGC NET versus university exam? We'll clear it out today. So, MIT is a university level entrance exam conducted for PhD admissions. Unlike UGC NET, MIT focus more on aptitude, reasoning, data interpretation, and English rather than subject specific depth. So, even if you are from a technical or medical background, paper 1 type preparation is extremely important. Now, let's first talk about the exam pattern because this decides your entire preparation strategy. Now, I will tell it based on my exam experience. So, there will be total of 60 questions. Total marks were 240. So, the questions which I attempted were 54. So, each section which were included is research aptitude, numerical aptitude and reasoning, logical reasoning, data interpretation, and English. Each section had equal weightage, so you cannot afford to ignore any of the sections completely. Now, I'll show you my actual score report so you can understand where the exam actually tests you. So, my scores were for research aptitude, I scored 28 out of 48, numerical aptitude and reasoning, 18 out of 48, logical reasoning, 35 out of 48. Data interpretation 22 out of 48. English 33 out of 48. I am sharing this very honestly because your preparation should be driven by analysis, not just marks. Now, let's discuss it section wise. So, first section is research aptitude. This section is extremely important for PhD aspirants. Topics which will be included in this section is research methodology ethics, variable hypothesis, ethics, plagiarism, sampling, type of research. So, my suggestion is don't mug up the definitions, understand concepts with examples. So, to let you know that these are just the idea from where the core questions can come from, but it's better you understand the concepts with examples properly so that you are able to answer those questions. So the book which I referred for most of the sections was UGC NET paper 1 by Narayan Changdar. So this book helped me build clarity, especially for the research related questions. So the time which you should allocate for this section is 20 to 25 minutes daily initially and revise weekly. Next section is numerical aptitude and reasoning. To be honest, this was my weakest section, and I'm being very transparent here. Common topics are percentages, ratios, averages, time and work, basic arithmetic logics. So, the mistakes which I made that I underestimated this section, practiced less, thinking it won't matter much. So, what you should do differently is practice daily, even if it's just for the 20 minutes, but practice daily so that you have consistency and accuracy to answer those questions. So the book suggested for this section is same UGC NET paper 1 quantitative aptitude section, and any aptitude book you can refer for this section as well. If you don't want to refer that same book, or if you want to practice more, you can go to Google, but there is no advanced maths required for this section. So you can allocate 30 minutes daily, and just remember practice is greater than theory for this section. So next section is logical reasoning, my strongest section. So this section actually saved my score. So the topic which are covered in this section are series, coding, decoding, blood relations, puzzles. So why this section is scoring? Because it is based purely on logic. less ambiguity, and practice improve performance quickly. So you can refer the same UGC Net Paper 1 book for this, and time you should allocate for this section is 25 to 30 minutes daily. And don't just see the or read the questions, try to solve the questions so that the accuracy is more. Next section is data intelligence. This section requires calmness more than intelligence. So the topic which are included in this section are tables, bar graphs, pie charts, simple calculations. So the main tips which you should take care during this section is you don't panic seeing the numbers. Approximation is your best friend and accuracy matters more than the speed. So practice questions from paper 1 UGC book and previous entrance exam questions, and just try to practice 20 minutes daily on this section, and do put a stopwatch and try to practice so that you see the accuracy over the speed. Next and last section is English. It is usually scoring and very easy if you are prepared. Topics which can be included in this section are reading comprehension, synonyms, antonyms, sentence correction, basic grammar. And if you're reading habit is good, this section can boost your score a lot. Book which you can refer for the English section is Paper 1 book and reading editorials, academic articles for your practice. And you can allocate 10 to 20 minutes daily and focus on comprehensions more. So, mainly it might be based on comprehensions also. So overall, which book to use for what sections? So you can use UGC Net Paper 1 book for research aptitude, logical reasoning, English, data interpretation, and you can use any aptitude practice book for numerical aptitude, for speed and accuracy practice. So you don't need 10 books, you just need 1 to 2 book plus consistent practice. Now let's discuss how you should plan your daily study. So if you have 2 to 3 hours daily, try to give 30 minutes for numerical aptitude, logical reasoning, and research aptitudes, 30 minutes each, and English 20 minutes. And you can then give the 10 minutes for the entire revision. So, consistency matters more than its intensity. So, the final advice from my own experience is that MIT exam is not about being brilliant, it is about being balanced. Don't ignore the weak sections, practice daily, analyze mock tests, and stay calm during the exams. And most importantly, before I forget to tell you guys that it does include negative marking. So, yes, MIT exam does include negative marking, and moreover, you can't go back to the previous question. So, be confident about your answers and then go to the next questions since you can't go back to the previous ones. So, yeah, PhD journey doesn't start with admission, it starts with preparation and mindset. So, if this video helped you, like, share, and subscribe to Scanxiety Chronicles. In the upcoming videos, I will also share PhD interview preparation, proposal tips, and real PhD experience. All the best for your MIT exam and PhD journey. You have got this. Bye.